Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. All right. First order of business, approval of minutes of the previous meeting of 6/18/2025.
I would move the minutes be approved as written.
Second. Is there any corrections, deletions, or additions? Seeing none, those in favor?
I actually wasn't here, so.
But you corrected it.
I did.
I found a word she changed.
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3. We're on the phone at 5:30.
Hey, it's 5:30 in the morning, what do you expect?
I went,
You see the time, Sam.
Moving on, before I lose total control. Selectmen's comments. Tom?
Yeah, a couple things. The internship that we created to look at our communications practices has been filled. Somebody applied as expected, and he's been engaged and has started the work.
We've sent him a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and meeting with him tomorrow. Thank you to Mike and the office staff for a smooth special town meeting last week. I'm sure the rest of you. I think we set a record 3 minutes and 29 seconds is how long the video of the meeting is.
Was it record low in attendance too?
Probably.
Not about record, but it was,
Yeah, it was pretty, I mean, who was it?
What I suggested before was that we designate one person to vote.
Yeah.
That would be kind of neat, because then we would have set a record with that too, only having one vote.
And thank you to the office staff and the EMS personnel for hosting the cooling center last week. I guess it was Monday and Tuesday, we did it last week. I don't know if anybody took advantage of it, but I did get a lot of compliments about the fact that we did it. So I think in the future we should continue to do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nothing.
Really?
We might want to
Nothing from Alex?
We might want to start back with that one.
Well, get me started.
And I said nothing just to get ahead of her, so she couldn't speak.
Yeah, that's right.
Jason?
Just a couple quick things.
Jason always has something.
Well, just a couple. So I heard from Ruth at Kelt, and she wants to meet next month in August. And as you guys know, we were talking about some tree plantings out here. She's pretty confident that we can come up with something that may actually get done this fall.
Oh.
I think the question's going to be what we think and what she thinks and how much.
So is the main DEP signed off? That was the last thing?
No, that's the next thing I got to bring up. So next week, there's more than likely a meeting with Kristen and Ruth and probably myself down to Albert Moore's. You know, if you followed some of the emails, and we've talked about this before, but Albert wanted a fence to go to the low water line. That's not going to happen. Then he talked about a fence to the high water line, and then we tried to say, well, just if there's no trespassing signs, he has concern that when the boat ramps in, they're going to go down the shore. So the surveyors suggested, he's a neighbor of his, but we meet on site. I think that is best because he seems to be much more. So I'll let you guys know. Maybe Monday or Tuesday, maybe very last minute.
Okay.
But if you want to come down,
Yeah, let me know if I can. I'd like to come out.
Yeah, we got to get that ironed out, and then. But she still thinks we're all set for winter. You know, permitting will get done, and construction will be advertised.
Well, everybody is signed off but Maine DEP, right?
Yeah,
And that's
but they already.
because of the eelgrass problem.
Yeah. Well, this release, as you know, you were going to sign it.
Yeah.
The release has to get done, and then that's one thing. Hang up. No, Allison, some of it will be done in the winter. It has to be done in the in-water work window.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'm just passing on what she said, but the funding is still there. So we talked about that tree planting and this, that, and the other. The other quick thing is, on Friday, the road got shut down out here without anybody really knowing about it. The Quasit Road was shut down for a little while, and I came down, Sean reached out, came down, met with this guy. It turned out okay, it was a short period, but I talked to this foreman with this whole pole project, and just, if you don't, you all know the poles are going in, and we know about moving them from Weston Road and Shaw Road, but what I didn't know, or maybe you know, is they're connecting to Wiscasset. And so then what will happen is then if there's a line that goes down on the Quasit Road or across the wood line, you know, behind Jamie Leonard's and all, you know, that way, they're just going to feed power back. So that's how they expect to have much less power interruption.
So like, yeah,
So
like you
it'll be
said, the Bath Water District.
Yeah, it'd be redundancy. Yeah, right. So this guy said, oh, that's going to be the major thing. So when something happens, one thing goes down out here, David won't lose power, and we might not lose power, and you might not lose power. Anyway, so that's it.
Okay, I have nothing tonight. Public comments, now is the time to talk to us about anything that's not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, please wait for it to come up. Nothing? Okay. Town administrator, Kim.
All right, well, the solar array has been purchased. We paid $46,000 for it, which leaves us $5,001.10 left in the account. And I'm going to keep it in that account just because it accrues like a variable interest. So we were basically earning almost $100 a month in interest on that.
Wow.
So it was nice. Because we paid out in June, I wanted it to be done in June. The withdrawal doesn't become available with the CD till July 6th. I didn't want to pay the penalty on it, so I just took it out of savings and paid it. So they're going to transfer that amount automatically on July 7th. So everything should be done on that. I reached out to Advanced Fire for the sprinklers. They were supposed to be here yesterday and they never showed up. I have a call into them to find out when they're going to be back in the area, and I have not heard back from them yet, so hopefully it'll be soon. I wanted to talk to the board about the foreclosure process. I sent out the 2 letters to the 2 properties, giving them until the end of June to reach out to the town to get something set up. I know one of them is being taken care of, but one I have not heard anything. He has not responded whatsoever. So I need to know if the board wants to start the foreclosure process, because we have to, before we can even list it with the broker, 90 days prior to doing anything, we have to send the owner of record the notice of how the sale process is. So, I mean, it's gonna be 90 days before we can even get a hold of a broker to even list it. So if we wanna start the process, I'd like to get it going.
Is this the Hall Road property?
It is the Hall Road property.
Oh, boy.
So,
I see.
I don't know what you guys wanna do, but
Are you guys all
you
familiar?
wanna,
No.
Are you all familiar with the property?
the Hall property, it's a mobile home.
It's one of those dilapidated trailers, isn't it?
It is. It should be the second one on the right-hand side going in, and you know, we all know the individual, and
Yeah,
there's a history with the use of the property.
correct. So,
Oh, boy. So what if we don't do anything right now? Oh, this is a,
well,
I guess.
Why would we do that?
I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
how
Well,
long?
you know,
Yeah.
you know,
we can always table it, discuss it at another time and
there's
figure
no,
something out.
No.
Is someone
Yeah.
living, so someone's living there?
Yes,
I think it's the same individual that we all.
yes,
Yeah. There's still a lot of cameras there, so.
An adult?
Yes.
No
No,
children?
no, and Dad, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. And he was just in a couple weeks ago to register a new vehicle he bought, so.
Well, again,
little frustrating.
it's a cumbersome system. If we want to foreclose on a property now, we have to advertise it like we used to, but we also have to assign it to a real estate agent. And they have to try to sell the property. And of course, anything over and above what our actual costs of doing all that, we have to give to the people that didn't pay the taxes on the house to begin with.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
do all the work, they make the profit,
They-
and.
Not to mention that they're still living there while we're trying to sell it.
Right, not to mention that they're still living there.
Which may make it
What bothers me
difficult
about
to
this
sell.
whole thing is, and I understand why this came about. It came about because that town up north on the lake there took a very elderly couple's house and sold it out in Monroe, which they never should have done. I mean, those people were 80-some years old. They were the town was gonna get their money out of the house eventually. They should have just left them alone, you know? But anyways, what bothers me the most about this is the people that are not paying their taxes, they're still getting the benefit of the fire department, the EMS department, the sheriff's department. We're still plowing the road out front of their house. They're getting all the services that their neighbors get, and they're not paying for it. And yet,
Yeah.
this system almost rewards them for not doing it, you know?
So what happens if we list it, engage a broker, list it for sale, and then the owner ponies up all of the back taxes?
I don't believe it's at our discretion whether we want,
If you wanna sell it back to him or not.
yeah.
There was no
But there's
con-
no obligation?
Nope.
Okay.
That's what I was worried about in the new law. There's no obligation to do that.
Which I tried to, explain in the letter that we wanted to work out an agreement with them, to
Yeah.
see if he could start paying something on it, and he won't even reply.
What's the amount?
It is, my
I don't
understanding
know off the top of my
is,
head exactly.
if we want to sell it back to them, we can
It's not
sell
a
it back to them for just what they owe in taxes
Correct.
and let them have it back.
Yes.
okay?
This isn't real big.
Which was the whole
not-
purpose of this thing, was to give people
Right.
a third or fourth or fifth chance to bail
Right.
themselves out. I mean, let's face it, by the time they get into this situation, they haven't paid their taxes for over 3 years.
Right, so it's a couple thousand is what he owes.
Which is probably the value of the property, you know, but, I don't know.
Well, and it doesn't make it all that
I
appealing
think the
a
best
property
thing,
to buy either, right?
No, the land,
The land,
the
yeah,
land,
yeah.
yeah.
But then you have to remove.
that would be
I
the new
mean,
buyers.
it's like the house on the old stage road, at the end of the old stage road. My greatest fear is we're gonna end up owning that house, because it's gonna cost thousands of dollars to clean up the mess. I mean, there's hundreds of tires there, there's 5 junk cars, there's et cetera, et cetera. So the town's gonna be on the hook to clean that up. And I don't think this law allows us to recover the money from that.
So why would we clean it up?
Well, that's the thing, but who's gonna buy it as is?
Well,
Oh,
just,
don't you worry.
well,
somebody's gonna buy it.
so, not to jump around, but I did call that Webster Young.
Yes, you
And
did.
I reached out to him, had a conversation with him. He says that he will make sure that we don't end up with it. In other words, he's put too much of his own money into it, and he obviously had not yet received Mike's letter, but Mike's letter is pretty firm. The other thing is, he said they found a will in the house, and so it actually belongs to 3 cousins, and he's supposed to.
Well, that was my understanding, is that there's so many heirs
Yeah.
to the thing, and they all think they're gonna make money on this house. What he should do is invite them all to come down and
Right.
walk through the place. I think most
Yeah.
people wouldn't walk through the house.
And last you and I talked to him, he's not, that one's not in foreclosure, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
Not
but-
yet.
And so I did stress upon him, David, could we table this one till the next meeting? Just because maybe.
In the meantime, can we make one last effort to
Yeah, maybe Alice
communicate?
and I might go visit
Yeah.
this individual,
Yeah.
because,
Discussion of that house, we
Which individual?
we can put that on back
There
burner.
you go.
I went to school with him.
My
There you go.
understanding is, though, is the neighbor of the house on the Meadow Road is gonna be here tonight
Yeah.
to talk to us, and I think we've worked out a plan for him to end up buying the house from the people that own it now.
But he'll step up and pay the taxes.
He'll step up and pay the
That's right.
taxes.
Yeah. If you're willing to give 2 more weeks, I'm all for it, but I would like to try one thing.
Okay.
Alice and I both I've had dealings with him for years, but she'll remember, and I think we just need to, one try. I was serious. Can't imagine he wants to lose his home for $2,000.
I wouldn't think so, that's what I was trying to do. All right, a couple more things. So Deergo is gonna be starting on Friday, July 11th. I'll be here to help them get settled in, get them keys, show them the alarm and how things work. They're also gonna be here again on the 18th, and I'll be here as well. I'm gonna discuss with them, like a set schedule. They're gonna do the 1st and the 3rd Fridays, or 2nd and 4th, whatever. So that way we can get a schedule pretty much determined of if they're gonna have office hours, what their office hours are gonna be, and when they'll be here for the public, get an email set up for them, et cetera. And then also, I would like to see if the board would be interested, I know I kind of brought it up a while ago. The next county commissioners meeting is Tuesday, July 8th at 3 o'clock. And I know that there are quite a few towns that are interested in meeting with the commissioners to discuss split payments.
What's the date again?
July 8th.
Well, so at least Steve is,
Next
any,
Tuesday.
Right.
also, right?
So I know that Georgetown had reached out and said they're on board with it. Julie from West Bath had said, if there was a meeting, she'd like to be involved. I know Topsom had a select board meeting to discuss split payments. I have not heard back from them. So I just wanted to see if that was something we could reach out to Amber and put on the agenda, so we'd like to have a
So what's-
conversation with the
Is the
commissioners.
the plan isn't to ambush the commissioners.
Well, if we let them know we're coming.
Yeah, okay, no, I know, I mean, like, I was
It
just
isn't very
wondering,
much an ambush,
what,
okay?
she is quite an ambush. I'm talking about Kim, all by herself. No, I was just wondering, like, what's the strategy just for them to hear, I mean,
To know that
Yeah.
the towns are,
Okay.
that we're not the only town that is interested in
yeah.
knowing,
Steve knows,
having a split.
yeah. Steve knows
payment.
that also.
Yeah, just to have them hear the town's
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Exactly, so,
I was under the impression even Thompson's interested in it.
were you? I know they had a meeting about it, but I have not heard if the select board was, so,
I think it makes sense for all, I mean, I think it would be easier, I mean, I don't know, but I would think that it'd be easier for the county if all of them, if all of us did it at the same, so they could do it all at the same time and.
So if you-
Well, I thought they indicated they only wanted to do it if everybody was.
yeah, that's what Amber had expressed to me.
Yeah, but I also heard that if everybody wants to do it, they have to do it.
Yeah.
I think if every town or city or whatever in the county wants to do
So,
it.
Yeah.
I can reach out to all the
Yeah.
towns tomorrow and say, you
Okay.
know, this is what the select board's gonna do, and how many other towns, you know, and I'll reach out to Amber and let her know that we would like to,
Okay,
all
yeah.
boards
put
and
it on
blah,
the
blah, blah,
agenda.
blah.
Yeah.
would like to meet with them.
Just send a reminder out to all the other towns too.
Oh, yeah,
Say, you know,
Yeah,
maybe if we all showed up in force.
yeah. So, I'll,
it was really funny, Steve August knew that we were sending out notices to the town of Woolwich.
Hey, if you're gonna try, you gotta try. You're all in.
right.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kim?
If
That's
I
it,
can make
that's
it,
all I have.
if I can make it, I'll do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll put it down,
Great.
all right.
Thank you, Kim. Road Commissioner, Jack.
Thank you. Anything?
Nothing?
The landfill should be taken care of in the next couple of weeks, mowing,
Mm-hmm.
and the roadside should be shortly too. I got the more on today. So that'll be happening. And that is quite quiet. Things are going on pretty good. No problems.
I haven't heard of any.
Daily really issues?
Well, we're getting a lot of calls, as you know, about the middle road matching.
Oh, yeah.
About the River Road, middle
Nothing
road.
you can help with.
What's the schedule for local paving this?
Gravel paving?
Yeah.
I took the money to evaluate.
Oh, okay.
No, it was
My nice new
scheduled, Mountain
car.
Road was gonna be finished last week, but they had a little glitch
Right,
in Booth Day, and that screwed that schedule up, so
Okay.
I'm just, the guy contacts me, you know, we're next, but
No, but I mean, which road, I guess, which roads did you identify?
the to-do,
Yeah,
about it that, hop them off,
okay.
finish Mountain Road, and
And,
see what we can do on Moss Lake.
I get a couple of people every once in a while go, oh, this is the nice end of town.
They're gonna really speed when you get Moss Lake.
I know,
Really.
I tell them that all the
I tell
time.
people that you're the one that introduced this.
Yeah, request it.
Yep, my high-priced property.
I have a question about Middle Road. I'm not complaining, it's so smooth now. I'm so happy in the ambulance, but are they going to smooth out the shoulders? Good.
That's right. So Danny, what they did is they did Middle Road, they finished River Road, and then they come when they get around to it.
And
And they'll do shoulders and driveways, and we've told a lot of people, and if they have some of the roads, subdivision roads, or Colby Drive, I mean, Dale
it's like
Drive.
a 6-inch drop off.
Really, yeah.
Went over one with the ambulance, and I'm like, ow. So
Part
that's
of it
why.
is, it has to cure a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still so soft that it can be dug up quite easily,
Yeah.
especially that plaza there.
No, I mean,
They're coming.
it's very smooth. Compared to what it was, it's so.
And Sean, we did follow up after the meeting about the brush, the shrubbery,
Oh, good.
the bridge. Tammy sent one out the next
I got another
day.
spot for it.
You what?
I got another spot for it.
Oh, well, you reach out first. It seems like if multiple people reach out, sometimes you.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anything for Mike.
No, you did not
right?
submit anything.
Okay. EMS Director, Danny.
Gonna make this short and sweet. We had 36 calls in June, saw 35 patients, 27 transported, so pretty busy month. Called MC1 8 times, we were called for mutual aid to Dresden once. Rescue 1 went in for an oil change last week and is going for routine inspection and maintenance and changing filters and all that next week. And the only other thing that's not on my list is I would like to thank Tommy and Kim, along with my EMS personnel who, because I was in New Mexico and who helped run the cooling shelter. We didn't get any takers, but again, it's nice to have. And Phil Davis announced it to the county, so it was announced around as well. So I'm glad we can provide that for our community. So thank you. And that's it.
What was it, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sean.
First of all, I apologize, I'm a little sweaty. We just cleared up a car fire up on the mountain road. 9 calls since the last meeting. The only other thing I've got is the compressor, the new compressor, is gonna be serviced this month for its first 6-month kind of interval, checkup. And I got an offer on the old compressor and the old Cascade, $2,500. I don't know how the board feels about that, but
Take it.
I told them to come get it.
Take
Money
it.
to run.
Yeah, get payment.
Okay, so they just have to go through their, board and get approval, and
Can't be sent to you,
that made
no
me so happy when,
Venmo.
yeah. So I told them, we'll help you load it, we'll,
Which town?
Searsmont, Maine.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, they reached out,
Up near
and,
Appleton.
yeah, just, down east here, I think a little bit. But they were in need, and I guess this is their big upgrade for them.
Great.
Works for me.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
The lights out here, the yellow lights.
we don't have any control over it. Everybody keeps asking me, I don't know what to do.
Those suckers are on all the time
Yeah.
lately.
We don't have any buttons anymore, we don't have anything yet, so
So,
it's DOT,
so we don't even use them, right?
no.
So maybe we could just go out with an axe, cut the wire. But they're flashing all the time. I've had several people mention.
No,
it to me,
I've had
they
calls
flash
too.
all-
Well, maybe it
It's the
slows
one-
people down,
That's true.
It's the one on this side of the
Yeah.
thing that flashes, the other one I don't see.
Right, going north, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wonder what's triggering it.
I don't know. And my other spot was, so engine 3 at the North Station pulled out of Charles Cross the other day, and they almost got T-boned because there's a bunch of brush looking toward Dresden. It almost comes up to the roadside, so they literally creeped out, and by the time they start going, vehicle coming up over the hill couldn't see it, so. But I'll call DOT about that so we can see.
So we gotta call.
I haven't had a chance to swing by and look. I believe I heard that they did, but
They did mow.
They did,
They did mow, because we finished up a job up that way this morning, and it was all mowed.
Good.
The North Station, yeah. So we had a conversation with them, as you know, and Kim knows, and Tommy was in on it, and I think they misunderstood a couple things, but, so hopefully,
Yeah, that wasn't even on their radar.
yeah, and they thought
No, it
that,
was on the
the
contract.
guy said, that
Yeah.
I said to the guy, go, geez, the mowing, you just finished mowing, but, and he said, well, that's what you get when you mow every 2 weeks. And I go, yeah, but it says no less than 2 weeks, or as needed. Oh, I said, no, it doesn't say wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think we had a little arrange, and then we gave him the address. He said it would be done Sunday, and then they would try to
Perfect.
improve, I hope.
Thank you.
I saw the townhouse got mowed
Yeah, that looks great.
after you guys,
Yeah, no, it looks
since
great.
last time, so,
Yeah.
Which last year they mowed more than,
yeah.
so I don't know what's going on this year.
Same crew.
Same guy I talked to
Same
last year.
guy, but last
All
year
right,
they mowed.
anybody got
when it
anything
was
else for
necessary.
Sean? No. All right, we'll
Thank
move
you.
on. Old business, we have nothing on the old business?
Actually, the assessing contract
Okay,
needs to be signed,
I was gonna say,
so
I
they
didn't see.
signed, their part and it just needs to be signed by
all
the.
right. Motion to sign the assessing contract for
The one with,
Associates?
Nicole, with
Yeah,
Deirdre.
it's Deirdre, yeah, so moved.
Second. Okay, those in favor? Okay, I'll pass it around.
Kim, where's the commissioners meeting?
I think it's
That little
at the courthouse. isn't it?
Across from the sheriff's office on
All
the
right.
first floor.
County tax assessment,
So nothing.
Oh,
is that what you already addressed?
Oh,
It's
okay.
on here under new business, county tax assessment.
Right, so we have to sign the
We have to sign it.
assessment.
It is $1,144,879 this year.
I would move,
Yeah.
not much we can do. I move that we sign and approve the county assessment.
I don't think we have any choice. There's only three slots here, so I'll sign above it and somebody can sign under my name, okay? Those all in favor of signing this reluctantly?
One check for $1 million in October.
Right?
Last year, our county assessment county bill went up over $1 million for the first time. It went up from 700 and some thousand to just over $1 million, and this year it went up another 100,000, so. Time goes on. Supplemental tax warrant on Tree Grove.
Yes, and this is the solar farm property on the Quasit Road.
Yep.
I would move that we approve that supplemental tax warrant.
Second.
Those in favor?
I
Okay.
think you've all looked at it, or you can't sign it, right? Good.
One more year.
You can't participate.
Estate rep, yeah. The assessing part of the job.
We got
Who's your
annual appointments
board, I think?
to do, but rather than keep Brian sitting here all night,
Yeah.
Brian, I've talked to everybody on the board,
Okay.
and we're talking about the house on the metal road that has a tree laying on top of it, and the well's on one side of the road, the house is on the other side of the road.
This is one of the 2 foreclosed properties.
One of the 2 foreclosed properties, Brian is in a butter, and there's a right-of-way that runs across that property through his property. So he has a vested interest in owning that property. So he's been up to talk to the young lady that inherited it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but she wouldn't talk to you about her husband, would?
She wasn't there.
Oh, she wasn't
She
there?
wasn't there. So the husband talked to me and, you know, I tried to explain to her that the town actually owns it, you know, and she's like, oh, I'm trying to save it for the boys, but he says they're upstairs playing video games. They have no interest in moving down here.
What Brian and I have discussed is that if he goes up and sees her and can convince her to pay the taxes on it, he will buy the house from her. We don't have to go through the whole process of advertising it and all of that stuff. And I've spoken with everybody on the board, and we're all on board with that.
So what happens, so like, the taxes get paid to us? It gets out of
She would
foreclosure?
pay the taxes to us. She would own the house.
Right.
And then because she owns the house, she can sell it to anybody she wants.
Right.
Where does she live? Does she live on the property?
No.
No.
Oh, no, this house is not livable.
Okay.
The kids have kicked in the front door and stove it up inside. There's a tree on it which has been laying on it for over a year now, and it's slowly knife slicing the house.
It's been vacant for many years, right?
Yeah.
What is the place?
Right, coming north, you know, right
on the
before
Meadow Road,
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, the one you talked about that you wanted to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Had 2 vehicles.
Not a Stoker's old place.
What's that?
100 years ago, it used to be my uncle's mother's place. A long time
I
ago.
heard a little chicken coop that was converted and stuff.
So I guess the question is, this is like the other one for a minute. It's in foreclosure. We don't have to act on it, but how much time do you think you need? I know it's.
Well, I mean, I could go up there right now and pound on her door and see if I could get her convinced, but some reason, it seems like she doesn't think that it's hers.
Yeah, she doesn't think she owns it because in the will of the owner, the original owner, it was left to his son and he passed away. And then if he passed away, it was to go to her, but it was only if those 2 were married at the time. But we can't figure out if they were separated or if they were still, you know, what was going on, because she thinks that she doesn't own it. And I have sent her a copy of the will, but
So does that
But
make-
her husband didn't die until after his father. So
Right.
So she must have still been married to him
Yeah.
when the husband died. So
Yeah.
I would
that's
think
what I was
she is
under the
technically the
assumption,
owner.
but
that would make sense. So did you have a
She's since
concern?
remarried.
Yeah, oh, since remarried, okay.
Yes.
So do you have a concern over that? No, it's, obviously, we want our tax money.
Yes.
The sale of the house isn't, you know, but
I figured she has no money, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
I end up paying the taxes.
Right.
And then I give her some money to.
You're gonna give her the money to come pay us, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna make a deal with them.
But the
Correct.
house, by law, the house has to revert back to her.
Correct, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So once the house reverts back to her, if you can convince her to take possession of the house again, then you and her can negotiate a sale.
Right.
If we put the house out, we have to advertise it in the paper, list it with a real estate agent, and
Turns
the
into a-
town gets nothing out of it. I
Right.
mean, we get back the cost of the real estate agent and the advertisement, and we get the taxes. But anything over and above that, we'd have to send to this lady anyways, and I'm afraid that if she's convinced she doesn't own it, she'd never cash the check. Then what do we do, you know?
Right, yeah.
And, you know, it's a can of worms, so.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how I can convince her. I mean, when Paul was alive and lived there, it was, you know, word of mouth that I'd have first refusal. And when he was on his deathbed, I went and saw Shane, because Shane become the owner, let's say, until when his father passed. And he said, no, if I want to sell it, you'll be, you know, first refusal. I said, okay. So then Shane's, like 6 months after his father passed away, Shane passed away. So, like I said, I looked up the will and it did it.
So nobody's paid the tax, I haven't kept track, but nobody's paid the taxes since this fellow passed away?
She tried to keep it, she tried to
She
keep
kept trying
paying
to
for
pay.
it for a while so that she could pass it down to her boys.
I see.
But it just got too much for her.
But she now is
Since
saying-
had multiple
yeah.
conversations with her. I wrote her a letter not a month ago, and I told her, you know, this is a town foreclosed property. You know, I sent her a copy of the will that shows that she is the owner of record. I said, you know, it would benefit you better if you reached out to Brian and I put your phone number in there because he wants to purchase the property.
Right.
Because you will get more for the house if you sell it to Brian, because otherwise we're gonna have to list it with a broker and you're gonna pay all these fees and you're gonna come out, you know, less than what it would be if you sold it to Brian. And
Right.
crickets, I can't get any reply from her. So I don't understand where she's at.
When did this
The whole
happen?
intent of this law was to give the person that owed the taxes, you know, another bite at the apple, another chance to get the property back. So this actually works out all the way around. If she gets the property back, then she can do whatever she wants with it. Hopefully she'll sell it to Brian, but,
Would a letter from the town attorney make any difference?
Well, she won't accept the certified letters. So I send it regular mail.
But she's the owner of records, that's who we send the tax bills to.
Well, she's an heir.
she was the last owner of
Yes.
record before we foreclosed.
Yeah.
So there's obviously, so when did the last fellow die, the Paul guy, when did he die?
Shane,
I mean Shane, when did he die?
Oh, a couple years, like
Yeah.
three,
Yeah, 3-4 years.
Right,
ago.
so she obviously, so this is the part of, you know, she obviously paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
She obviously was the right heir at the time.
Yeah.
Then something kind of changed her mind.
right.
She got married.
Yeah, no, when she got married, but she already,
I think you're 100% correct. I think she just figures that she's remarried, she wants
Yeah.
nothing to do with this. and it's-
but she's gonna walk away with some
Well,
money.
that's what I was trying to say. If
Right.
you think it's not yours, I was wondering if I could get like a piece of paper saying from the town, the town owns it right now.
Yeah.
And to get you some money in your pocket,
Which basically is what I wrote in the letter.
Right.
We own it.
Yeah.
We wanna, you know,
I've been
sell
up
it, we're gonna sell it
I've been up there
regardless.
about 4
I mean,
times,
if
and I've
somebody-
always talked to the
Yeah.
husband.
If somebody knocked on your door and said, I'd like to put $10,000-$15,000
whatever,
in your
yeah.
pocket, would you say, no, get out of here, go ahead? You know, I mean, that's what I don't understand about it. I mean,
I don't either.
why would you let it go to the town
I don't understand.
and walk away with nothing
Yeah.
when you can actually walk away with a few bucks? I mean,
And what's the tax liability? How much is owed?
Probably a couple thousand.
Yeah, right, I think it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot of money.
I know, I don't understand.
It's not a lot.
But it's just, in this particular case,
I know.
it's like this is the test case for this new law, because this is just such a can of worms that it, you know, it'd be much simpler if Brian could just go up and convince her that
Right, right. And I
you'd
just
like to
wanted
give
to-
her some money and.
Can I get like a copy of that letter you sent to her, so I
Absolutely.
can take it to her and say,
Absolutely.
this is what it is, and I'd like to give you some money, and I don't want a bunch of Massachusetts people looking behind me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah,
So-
yeah, I have it downstairs, I'll give you a copy of it.
This is another case where good intentions on the behalf of the state is just not working out. you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
it's just-
Supreme Court in this case.
All right,
Right,
well, so we're just gonna table that until we hear back.
right.
Yeah, I'll give Brian a copy of that letter, he said he'll
Yeah.
take it up to her.
Yeah, whatever we can do.
Sure, yeah,
But
but
we do accept payment for taxes. Doesn't matter who pays
We
it.
take
I know
cash,
that.
we take cash, credit card, or check.
See, the other way to do it is you can pay the taxes. Doesn't matter who pays the taxes, right?
I know that.
So being the nice guy you are, you could step up, pay the taxes,
Sure.
and then if this goes on for another 2 or 3 years, we're whole again, and you can just keep working your way.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
It would be a good time to swing by and.
You guys are just gonna sign the
Yeah,
Appointments.
appointments, I can run downstairs real
Okay.
fast, make a
Yeah.
copy for you.
Okay. We have a
Thank you.
whole bunch of annual appointments to do. Do you guys wanna do them all at once, or do you wanna do them individually? Individually, we're gonna be here till midnight.
Yeah, I think what we gotta do is do them at once, or suggest we do them at once, but maybe you just read them off.
I'll read them off.
Read them off.
Danny Everett, Emergency Management Director. Kim Dalton, Town Administrator.
I don't think so.
Alexia Alexandra, Animal Control Officer. Michael Field, CEO. Dan Everett, EMS Director. Kimberly Dalton, General Assistance Administrator. Kimberly Dalton, Town Clerk. Kimberly Dalton, Treasurer. Candace Conrad, Tax Collector. Kimberly Dalton, Deputy Tax Collector. Kimberly Dalton, Register of Voters. She's very busy. Jennifer Hall, Deputy Register of Voters. Candace Conrad, Deputy Register of Voters. Candace Conrad, Deputy General Assistance Administrator. This is because everybody in the office is a deputy to everybody else. Paul Dumdy, Health Officer. Hal Fowler, Public Safety Advisory Committee. William Potter, same thing. Janet Stilfen, Member Special Ed Events Committee. Candace Conrad, Deputy Treasurer. Jennifer Hall, Deputy Town Clerk. Lauren Bukowski, Deputy Town Clerk. Deputy Garrett Olson, Shellfish Warden. Deputy Al Huntington, Shellfish Warden. Want to do them all at once?
I would move that we, appoint all those people, yeah. That were just stated.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, now we're gonna do a sign-orama.
Put them in the signature.
What if I don't sign?
Too late.
Yeah, take care. Say a word, but this is short.
This is the last order of business today, and when we finish signing these, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
When we're finished signing, I'll make a motion.
Yeah. Did young Mr. Baldwin have anything you would like to ask the board? Is this part of his project?
It's a different project.
Oh, a different project.
My handwriting has never been good, but it's getting worse by the minute.
Whoa, you changed the order on us.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I gotta pay attention. See this? I'm there, but then I'm down.
Right. You have them one way, have
Is that on mine, so I'm not official?
No, you have a 10-year appointment.
I thought he was appointed for life.
Yeah, that's the only one. Go back to the regular now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Do we have any interaction with the Shellfish? That's pretty funny.
No, it's worked out, it seems to work out great.
Yeah.
We haven't heard a lot of complaints, and we haven't, Tommy?
They come in here.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah, but Tommy, we haven't. It's been good for the budget.
Yeah, I just don't know.
And it seems like it's quieted down.
Yes.
Some of the REM ones down that way. Unless Allison knows something we don't know.
No. Everybody's seen, no fires have been started on
Right.
people's yards.
No news is good news.
It seems like we have like a big corporation here, all these.
We need to stand.
I think Kim needs to be on every committee as well, just so everyone's.
Danny?
I think she is.
Right.
Danny? Don't speak, don't spoken to. You're starting trouble.
Well, we can appoint Danny to every.
That's what I'm thinking.
No,
Kim's
no.
not a resident, Danny is.
That's right.
We have
I
many
need to be on
openings.
committee, Daisy.
Thank you
Thank
for
you, Danny, for volunteering for that.
No more.
We have
Select
several
Board Advisory
committees that
Committee.
do not have full membership, so.
know.
Kim, put
The solid
together a
waste
list of
committee
every
is
committee we can
expanded.
put Danny on.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, they did it again.
I will not be attending meetings.
Pay attention, we moved around.
We can have you out every
That
night
was
of the
up.
week.
I already am.
Phew.
Wow.
That one.
I don't remember this many appointments last week.
I don't either.
It was because.
That's because they were
Well-
incorrect.
That's because we used to do them haphazardly.
You've taken care of that problem.
Danny, what's the, how did you make out with the ordinance, planning ordinance?
Oh, the
You sent it back to my,
Oh, well, I sent Mike
final
the
version.
beefed up version with the reformatting. He read it and he found it to be completely consistent.
And you're okay with
So
it?
did you get that from Mike?
Okay,
Okay,
because
so-
you have to attest it, but you have to make
So
sure
it
it
has-
is.
I have got it.
You gotta agree with it.
Is
Okay,
this just with the fees, or is this
No,
with-
it's, so if you remember the planning, sorry, David, but real quick, the planning ordinance that's online
Yeah.
is messed up. And then now we just made these improvements. and
Okay.
So we have this new one that we voted on, but Kristen worked on, and Tommy and Mike and
Okay.
all of us.
So it's the
You.
version.
I would entertain a motion to
Pretty good, huh?
adjourn.
So moved.
Right.
Is there a second?